Welcome back to the Buffalo Take. This is episode 3. I'm here with Travis.
What's up, guys?
Today, we have a lot to talk about. It's been a long week, and a lot happened.
It has been.
In college football, you got the Week 9 recap. Not a ton happened in college football because a lot of people on buys, but
mm-hmm.
Oregon, they rolled
Oregon,
Utah.
Utah. Yeah, they did. Did not see that coming at all.
They made a huge statement
They did.
in a big game.
I'm surprised Utah's defense let up that much.
I am too, especially at home.
Yeah, I know.
And Oregon rolled into there and just took that game. I like Dan Lanning as their head coach. I think he fits in perfect. And besides that game against Washington,
They're making a statement for themselves.
they'll be a good contender. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, Georgia rolled Florida.
Yep.
We saw that coming.
Yeah. Especially at the neutral site.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize at first.
Ohio State started off slow again.
Always happens.
But they still won.
24-10, yeah. Marvin Harrison, 2 tutties.
He's just so good.
Yes. Yeah. He should be a contender for Heisman at this point. Yeah.
Especially with how up in the air it is.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State rolled Wake, which we knew was going to happen.
Yep.
Washington only beat Stanford by 9. Yeah.
Yeah. That's surprising.
Stanford, I don't know why. I thought they would play better against UCLA, and they got rolled against UCLA, and then they battle with it's just the Pac-12, man. It makes no sense.
Michael Penix still played good, though.
Yeah, he still played good. That offense is...
And there's this game, Oklahoma, Kansas.
Good for Kansas. I mean, what a win that was.
I mean, we said this last week. We said Kansas had a really good chance of winning this game.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be if Jalen Daniels was playing.
Yeah, you're right. Not with...
I mean, great win for them.
Bean.
I guess the weather was in their favor a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Oklahoma doesn't tend to play in that weather.
Yeah, no.
But still a good win for them. They ripped down the goalposts.
Yep.
And I think it ended up in a lake, if I saw that correctly.
Yeah, it did. It did.
And then Texas, without Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
Beats up
they
on
rolled BYU.
Good win there. People like Malik Murphy. I think that's for their situation. And then a guy who's been quiet, not quiet, but he's putting up good stats, but quietly putting up good stats. Jonathan Brooks. I mean, he's up there for the best running back in the country right now. And
yeah.
He's having a solid season.
I mean, they talked about him last year, right? Behind
because he was behind Bijan.
Right? Yeah.
But obviously Bijan's that feature back.
Yeah.
And then Penn State. What is going on with Penn State? They almost lost to Indiana.
I don't know, dude. James Franklin's got to be the most overrated coach in college football. He can, I don't know. They're always like this.
They are.
It's the same team every year.
Yeah. They got to take that step. Arizona beats Oregon State.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Arizona has battled with teams all year long, but they've never been able to get a big win. Well, they beat Washington State, but they haven't been able to beat a top 25 team like Oregon State, and they get the job done at home.
That's surprising, honestly.
I mean, I've been talking up
Oregon
State the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Oregon State's good.
But a good win for Arizona.
That's a good win for them, yeah.
It's a good game, too. I didn't catch most of it, but I caught the ending of it. Ole Miss, we figured that would happen. Notre Dame puts up 58 on Pitt.
Yeah.
Dang. I mean, Notre Dame's...
That's a good...
They've had dead spots during the season, but to roll up on a Pittsburgh team like that...
And put up 58.
That's
only let up
like
7, too.
Yeah, that's what you like to see out of that team.
Yeah.
And North Carolina lost again. What the hell happened?
The second straight week.
To Georgia Tech. I mean...
I don't understand that.
they just disappoint again.
Mm-hmm.
Another week, another. I mean, I would argue that this is a bigger disappointment because Virginia's a team that you can look right over,
Mm-hmm.
and you could say, oh, maybe it was a fluke, they got lucky. But losing back-to-back weeks to two bottom-tier ACC teams,
Yeah,
that has got to
not
be
good.
one of the biggest disappointments. Riley Leonard struggles in a loss. They got
No
shut out
points.
against Louisville.
0 points.
I really like Louisville.
Louisville's good.
They
Yeah.
just slipped up once against
Yep.
Pittsburgh, and
Mm-hmm.
and besides that, I mean, they'd be undefeated if they didn't lose to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And then Pittsburgh gets rolled by Notre Dame. So I don't know. It's college football is crazy. Air Force beats Colorado State. Another good win for them. They stay undefeated. Tennessee beats Kentucky. They go into Kentucky and take a game.
That's a good win.
Oh, Devin Leary threw for 370 yards.
Yeah.
Not quite often do you see a big passing yards game from a Kentucky quarterback like that.
Yeah, no.
Tulane gets the win over Rice. Tulane's a good team, but Rice put up a good fight at home.
Mm-hmm.
And then UCLA
Colorado loses again.
Yep. Yeah, they're not very good. I think we're going to say it every week because they're going to play good teams.
Mm-hmm.
They might lose out, like I said the other week.
Travis Hunter had 2 picks, though. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
He did have 2 picks.
UCLA had like 4 or 5 turnovers, and they still lost.
Yeah,
and they still won the game by 2 scores.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Colorado's not really going anywhere. If they can somehow... What do they need? 2 more wins to make a bowl game? Yeah, 2 more wins. If they can somehow get 2 wins out of Oregon State, Arizona, Washington State, and Utah, it'll be good if they make a bowl game, but they might miss a bowl game, which would be rough for prime time.
USC
take them out
1
of the
point
rankings.
win.
Take them out of the rankings, bro.
Yes.
They are not good. Their defense is terrible.
You said this that you thought Cal was going to put up a fight against them.
I did say that, but I wasn't like serious. Like
yeah.
Because like it was kind of the weekly bias that I just don't like USC. But I mean, I thought California would maybe score 30, but to only lose by 1.
I know.
Jeez, I mean, Caleb Williams still had a good game, but
he's still Caleb Williams, but
sucks.
He's got no help on defense whatsoever.
And then James Madison gets the win to stay undefeated over Old Dominion. Speaking of James Madison, I just remembered, or I saw on Twitter that made me remember, they can't make a bowl game because they moved up from FCS.
Yeah.
There's the however many years rule it is. That's stupid. They can't. Stupid. They also can't be ranked in the college football playoff rankings either. Even though they're
dumb.
The best Sun Belt team this year, and they're probably better than most Power 5 schools.
Yeah.
So that's just
good for them.
A stupid rule, but good for them. They're undefeated. They'll prove it again and again, I guess. And other than that, a lot of games here and there. Although on Thursday night, Syracuse got kicked their ass kicked. That was bad.
Again.
I knew, like, I said, like, this could be a loss. And I'm like, Thursday night to start Halloween weekend at Virginia Tech. Interesting. I thought Syracuse was going to win, but, like, what the fuck? Lose by 28 to Virginia Tech. That's just terrible.
Yeah. Rough week for them.
Heading into week 10.
Rough couple weeks for them.
It's a rough season.
Yeah.
Heading into week 10. We got a lot of games. Thank God Syracuse doesn't play on Saturday again. They play Boston College on Friday, which...
That's a loss.
I swear to God, if they lose, I'm going to lose.
That's a loss. I'm calling it.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Saturday, Ohio State at Rutgers. The way Ohio State starts and the way Rutgers can cover, I think it could be a close game.
I think Ohio State should...
They should get the job done.
They should get the job, yeah.
They should get the job done, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see another 24-10 type game.
Yeah, me too.
Kansas State at Texas.
This is
a test for Malik Murphy. We'll see, because Kansas State is always there.
They're playing good right now, too. So
they kicked Yeah, they kicked the crap out of Houston last week,
Yeah.
41-0, and
Yeah.
now they go into Texas, and you can imagine they want to get a win
Mm-hmm.
against a team without Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, it could be a game to watch right there. Texas A&M Ole Miss.
I like Ole Miss in this one. I think
I do too.
they'll get a big win here. They're top 10, which is good for them. And then Notre Dame goes to Clemson. Clemson at home is a good team.
I'm thinking Notre
But I
Dame
got
wins this
Notre
game,
Dame,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, the way they played last week and the way they brought back what was happening earlier in the season, I think they beat Clemson pretty handedly.
Yeah, they're still a good team. A really good team.
Why does Tennessee play UConn?
I don't know. And that makes no sense.
It's such a random game.
It's week 10.
It's
Are
not
we playing
college
UConn?
basketball.
No.
That might be the most random game I have seen so far. North Carolina gets a game against Campbell. They're not even FBS.
What? Why? Like, who makes this schedule, dude?
I don't know. Maybe they knew they were going to lose.
That's a week games. 1, 2, and 3 game right there.
Yeah, that's not a week 10 game. I don't know what they're doing.
No.
Other than that, a lot of conference games.
Oh, here's a good one: Missouri, Georgia.
Missouri at Georgia. I don't hate Missouri in this one.
I don't either.
I
don't know though, because Georgia's playing so good still.
Georgia's Georgia, and they'll be mad that they weren't ranked number 1.
Yeah.
I think Georgia can get the job done.
I think Georgia will win.
I'm just hoping for a close game.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Yeah.
Florida State at Pitt. Pitt just got destroyed. They'll be. They're not going to do anything against Florida State.
They'll keep rolling there.
Next, you head to Stillwater for Oklahoma State. Always a good rivalry game. Oklahoma's got to get a bounce back win. But
I think they will.
Oklahoma State's ranked for the first time in a while.
They are. But I honestly think.
I think
Oklahoma
should be able to get the job done. But don't count out Oklahoma State just yet. I think Penn State might lose going into Maryland.
So Maryland's playing bad football right now.
They are. They played terrible. They lost to Northwestern.
Yes. So I don't know. But it is at Maryland, so.
It is at Maryland. I think a home game for Maryland, this level of game will be good for Tagovailoa. I think I'm still going to take Penn State, but I wouldn't be surprised if Maryland. There's a lot of those games this week where I wouldn't be surprised if the other team wins, but.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. What else? California at Oregon. California just put up a fight against USC. They're going to run into a brick wall.
Yeah.
Autzen Stadium is not the place you want to be this late in the season.
Oregon should destroy them.
They should, yes. Washington at USC.
Now
we're going to see who is the better Heisman candidate this week.
Yes. And who has a better defense.
Yep. This is all going to come down to whatever defense can hold the other team to under 40 points.
Yes.
And I think Washington rolls into USC and not knocks off. USC's down to 20, but they knock off Caleb Williams, and I guess they would probably move into the top 4 after that.
Yeah. Do they? Yeah. They have to.
This would Washington
based on how they ranked the rankings.
Yeah.
If Washington wins this game, they should be 4.
Yeah. With the other games going on, if Missouri can beat Georgia, Washington can move up to 2.
Yeah. Honestly, they could. Yeah.
That would be crazy, but I still think Washington gets the job done. They'll probably only move up to 4, but that'll be a great game to watch.
Yeah.
Purdue at Michigan. Michigan should get the job done.
Yep. LSU, Bama.
Big rivalry this week.
Yep, rivalry game.
I don't know who I like in this one. They're both good teams.
I think Bama's playing good football.
I agree.
Recently, so I think they should win this.
I'm gonna go LSU.
It is what?
I'm gonna go LSU.
Okay.
I think Jaden Daniels, he's got something to prove.
I just think Bama's back, dude.
They are good. They are playing great football.
Yes.
They've adjusted to their situation, and they've been just playing consistently since they lost to Texas.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like LSU, and they got to get a big win here if they want to stay among the top. And then Oregon State at Colorado. Oregon State's going to bounce back.
Yeah, I think they should.
Colorado,
honestly. If
we've seen them lose at home before, Oregon State's going to win this one.
Yeah. UCLA, Arizona.
I thought UCLA would. I thought Stanford would give a fight to UCLA 2 weeks ago, but I don't even know what to think in this one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a similar game like Oregon State and Arizona, but
Yeah.
You know what? Give me Arizona at home. They want to make a bowl game. They only need one more win to do it.
They're not bad.
They're a solid team. They're just not.
Yeah.
It's just the Pac-12 is so hard to be at the top.
Yeah.
Of. So we got a good slate of Week 10 games. Jeez, it's already Week 10.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Good slate of Week 10 games though.
Now
college football
Michigan.
Dude, this keeps on rambling.
This crossed the line. I think
this
sending a guy
to stand
onto the sidelines, that's where you gotta.
My only issue is if you're Michigan, right? You're one of the best teams in the country, I think, regardless of the sign stealing. You have to put a guy on the sideline to scout Michigan State.
No, I know.
That's where it gets stupid to me. You don't have to scout these bottom tier Big Ten teams. If you're gonna sign steal, might as well just do Penn State, Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with sign stealing, but once you put somebody on the sideline, that's where it crosses the line.
Yeah, I agree. That's just
I think somebody's gotta in the Michigan organization, they have to take responsibility at this point.
Right.
You can't just sit there and be silent.
Yeah, their wins are
because
gonna get.
If that affects the top 4 for the college football playoff,
right,
there's gonna be some people that are not happy.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't know, and it's such a coincidence that the 2 games they didn't really know they were gonna play, Georgia and TCU, the last 2 years, they didn't get rolled against TCU, but they got their ass kicked against Georgia, and they gave up 50 against TCU.
Yeah.
So that's besides the point. We'll see what else happens throughout this next week. With the scandal, Colorado's locker room got robbed at UCLA. You gotta imagine.
I don't understand that.
It was definitely somebody at UCLA.
It's got to be somebody inside. Yeah.
That sucks. You can imagine how much the robbers got away with. Colorado, they have so much money in NFL deals. Travis Hunter's jewelry, Shedeur Sanders' jewelry. Oh my, it's got to be insane.
Deion's.
Deion wants to be reimbursed, which makes sense, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And then Iowa fans rejoice. Brian Ferentz is not going to return as the offensive coordinator next year.
Will they finally have a good offense?
No, not a chance. They need to hire an NFL guy, and no NFL offensive coordinator is going to want to go coach at Iowa. And speaking of Iowa, they have the lowest ever over-under this week in college football. It was just broken the other week in a Big Ten game, and now they're playing Northwestern. It's at 29.5.
That's insane.
I would take the under. Because Iowa's not scoring 29 points. Northwestern's not scoring 29 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
Is
low.
That's ridiculous.
You gotta think they literally only have to score twice each.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. Other news in the college football, we got Dabo Swinney, who's imploding because he's not built to lose.
Yep.
I think he's I think he's kind of soft-minded, I guess, because he went off on a radio caller the other day, and it's not like they're not they're a bad team this year, but you can't let losing 4 games get to you this much.
Yeah.
I think he's just mentally soft in that aspect, and I don't think he's built to lose.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That team, I just don't get that. You're Clemson. You've been good for past 10 seasons, and
now it's over.
I don't know.
Everybody has their down seasons, but you can't let it become a habit.
Yeah. Because once that happens, it just continues.
And I think Clemson's dynasty is well over.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Season-ending injury or surgery for Mayan Williams. They got a lot of running backs. Hopefully, it doesn't impact him too much.
Yeah,
but that sucks for him. He's a good running back.
If Travion does end up getting hurt, that's gonna suck.
That will suck. Let's see if he can.
That'll be a big loss
for the remainder of the season. And then Pat McAfee wants to do a college football red zone.
Yeah,
I love that idea.
That'd be cool.
We'll see how that works out, but that's gonna make.
He said he's only doing like the later games, right?
I think so. I think
that's what he said. Yeah.
That's gonna be fun to watch regardless. He can do whatever with his commentary and his. I believe he's gonna have his Pat McAfee show team with him, but that's gonna be fun to watch.
He's the greatest thing that ESPN ever brought on, dude.
Yeah, he's such a fun personality.
Yeah,
you can't hate the guy. Yeah, and he's a punter. It's not like he's like some meathead linebacker. All right, the first edition of the college football playoff rankings came out this week for this season, and we have an interesting 25. Starting off at number 1, Ohio State gets the nod.
I get where they're coming from. I still just don't agree with it.
I don't understand. It makes sense because they've beaten more good teams than Georgia or Michigan has.
That's what I think they're trying to
Yeah, they're trying to
say,
make a point.
But
it's still it's still Georgia and Michigan. It's like they haven't lost.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Georgia should still be number
Georgia
1.
should still be number 1. I could see putting Ohio State at 2 and then Michigan at 3, but
I
think the top 4 is good. It's just how you rank it. And then Washington's at 5. Oregon's at 6.
Washington, as long as they win out, they should get in.
They should get in, yeah.
Because Ohio State and Michigan play each other, so
and I agree with
those two teams are dropping out.
Yeah, I agree with keeping Washington over Oregon because they beat them.
Yep.
Speaking of that, Utah falls to 18.
Well,
it's tough.
Well, they were at 14, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right. They weren't that high.
Yeah.
You kind of see a trend if you look at it with the records right next to it. You got the undefeated teams, then the 1-loss teams, then the 2-loss teams, and then the 2 best of 5 teams at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I guess I see how they did it. Oklahoma State's ranked, which I mentioned earlier. Good for them. They're having a good season. Mike Gundy's still a really good head coach, even if they don't have flashy players, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did see Georgia and Michigan have strength of schedules in the hundreds, which out of only 133 college football or FBS teams, it's not very good.
No.
So I would probably say Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Florida State, Washington.
I feel like Washington could be 4 in my opinion.
I agree. They got a good win over Oregon, and Florida State's had some good wins, but I still think Washington State. We'll see what Washington does this week, but I still think Florida State and Washington State. I still think Florida State is a little bit better.
So Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Florida State, Washington.
Yeah. Going into more depth of it, I think the college football playoff rankings did a good job of
yeah, they did.
Because breaking it up into 0 loss, 1 loss, 2 loss, and then
I mean,
the
you
best of
have to
5.
do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's just how it is, and
Yeah.
that's how your teams are ranked. And then I agree
Mm-hmm.
with that. And I mean, looking at with a comparison to the AP Top 25, the
Yeah.
only big changes they really made
It's like
were dropping Penn State 2 spots, moving Notre Dame down 3 spots, putting Ohio State at 1, obviously.
Air Force dropped
Air Force dropped
8 spots.
8 spots. Yeah, that's only because they're best of 5.
Yeah.
You can't rank James Madison, and instead of James
I
Madison, they put in Oklahoma State. So
just don't understand USC being 20.
I don't either. But I mean, at the end of the day, they could easily beat Kansas, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and Tulane and Air Force. But we'll never see those games.
Yeah.
So, but
I mean,
it's a good
overall. I think it's a pretty good
overall. It's not
ranking.
bad. I think.
Yeah.
The only thing is when you see Ohio State at 1, you automatically think, oh, this is going to be an interesting set of rankings, but it's not bad.
But it makes sense.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to the NFL. Last week, we had a lot of interesting games happen.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off with Thursday night, the Bills beat Tampa Bay 24-18. What are your thoughts?
And I liked how we started early, and then it got too late, and we didn't go for it on the 4th downs.
Not once.
We had 4 chances. We could have gone for it at least once.
Yep.
I mean,
I had Sam Martin under 3 punts on Prize Picks, which that kind of made me a little mad. But I will say, I'm glad those punts were for good use. He punched the ball outstanding.
Yeah,
he would have had 4 inside the 5, but the 4th one, it was just a nice block downfield by whoever that was for Tampa Bay.
And then you know what makes me mad is the people that were saying there should have been a flag on that Hail Mary. When has there ever been a flag called on a Hail Mary?
It's tough to call flags on Hail Marys. Yes, you can say that Kate Otten was getting...
Yes, but that happened on every Hail Mary.
Yeah, it does. And
you just don't call it.
It is tough to call Hail... I mean, Chris Godwin, if he turned around...
he would have caught it.
He would have caught it. But, God, the Bills should have won that game in the first half.
Yeah,
they should have been done,
and it looked like they were gonna.
They had the game in the bag. They just had to put him away, and they didn't put him away, which kind of pissed me off. But I did like how the offense looked. I think giving Josh Allen some design runs was good, and we got Shakir involved.
Shakir had a career game.
Yeah, great for him. And then Dalton Kincaid had his breakout game, I guess, without Dawson Knox in the roster. It was a good game. The boys played good.
Yeah.
I think we'll see how they continue this week against Cincinnati, but I would have liked to put them away sooner because if we're in the same scenario against Cincinnati, we lose that game.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but all in all, they got the win. Win's a win. Move to 5-3. We move on.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday was an interesting slate.
Dallas they
manhandled the Rams.
Yeah.
That was bad.
I didn't see that coming. I thought the Rams would have at least put up a fight.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
I thought they were going to start to make a comeback towards the end, and they scored twice, I think, and then it just kind of stopped. But Dallas' offense just looked outstanding.
What, CD had 158 yards?
Yeah.
And
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I saw some dude had 2 touchdown parlay. It was like CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, and there was one other one, and I think it hit.
Of course it did. Why can't that happen to us?
Why can't I do that, right? I mean, maybe because we're just not psychos who put $200 on a parlay like that.
Yeah, true.
Also, Dallas's corner, Deron Bland, has more pick sixes than a handful of guys have receiving touchdowns, which is just crazy to me because he has 3 pick sixes. I don't remember the exact receivers that were on that list, but there's a lot of top tier receivers who just don't have 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, Minnesota beats Green Bay, but They lose Kirk Cousins.
Just sad.
That sucks. I mean,
poor guy.
To be a Minnesota fan, it's kind of like when the Jets beat the Bills earlier in the season. You win, but at what cost?
Mm-hmm.
That's brutal. I mean, Kirk Cousins, he was the guy to get the job done frequently. Like now they just don't know where to go. But you could at least trust him to.
Tough for them.
Yeah.
And Green Bay
sucks.
Yeah. I don't think Jordan Love's going to be their franchise
They did
quarterback.
say, I think they said either it was earlier in the last couple of days, they said they still have to evaluate him more.
Mm-hmm.
I personally feel like I've seen enough out of him, but then again, they're coming off the Aaron Rodgers era, so we'll see how the rest of the season goes for him.
I still just don't think he's the answer. He's just going to be middle tier average quarterback his whole career.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's going to do anything outstanding.
No.
Tennessee. No Ryan Tannehill, and Will Levis comes in and throws 4 touchdown passes.
Dude. D-Hop on my bench. I still won, but D-Hop on my bench because he hasn't done anything all season.
Well, yeah, I mean, hey. 4 catches, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns. Great game from him. And Will Levis has found his best friend at wide receiver.
Yeah. And now I just picked up Will Levis for my quarterback because I had Stafford and Fields, and who knows what Stafford's going to play because he's hurt.
Right.
And then Fields is out, so
but good
hopefully
for
he has
Will
another.
Levis, though.
Yeah.
Fucking good for him, man. That makes me happy. They got to win over an Atlanta team. That I don't think
that's what you want to see from them. Derrick Henry having over 100 rushing yards. Yeah. D-Hop having over 100 receiving yards.
In the midst of thinking they're going to trade Derrick Henry and D-Hop, but that's good.
And then they have that game.
I think they can turn around. They don't play in the toughest division, so it's not like they're fighting the Chiefs every week. They just have to beat the Colts, Texans, and Jags.
Yeah.
I mean, down the line, we could see a good Jags-Titans game, but we'll see.
Yeah.
New Orleans gets a good win over Indianapolis. Guy I had on my bench, Rashid Shaheed.
Me too.
He went off. I mean, I wasn't probably going to start him anyways, but...
I mean, yeah, he only had 3 receptions, and they were each for 50 yards each.
Yeah.
So...
But Derek Carr looked good.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans, they got a good win. They beat an all right Indianapolis team, but it's a good win for them. Miami got the job done against New England, which we all hoped. Well, we didn't.
That was an interesting game, though.
It was. They started off strong.
It was 24-17 with 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
So.
Jalen Ramsey came back.
Yep.
Which, I mean, it feels like he got injured, but it was before training or when training.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I mean, good for him. Did he have 2 picks or did he just have the 1?
I think he had just 1.
Just 1, okay. And then the Battle of MetLife. Dude,
this
game
was the worst game I've ever watched.
It was so bad that it was fun.
Yeah.
I was watching it in my buddy's room with a Jets fan and a Giants fan. And they were just both just in shambles with how bad this game was. There was over 1,000 yards worth of punts.
Negative passing yards for the Giants.
I mean, what was that game? 23 total points scored. That game was so funny to me. Tommy DeVito got in. Syracuse, not really Syracuse legend. He was
poor Tyrod.
Oh, man, dude.
He was doing so good.
There's another thing. Somebody put Tommy DeVito anytime touchdown scorer. Why? And they put $20 on it. Who in the who in the right mind? Because it wasn't like Tyrod had questionable, before the game. It was I don't know. That's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the Jets get the win in overtime. I thought the Giants were gonna win. But the Jets.
Yeah, it sucks for us because the Jets are still.
Yeah.
Still right there, behind us.
The Jets survive in that one. Jacksonville beats Pittsburgh 20-10.
Washington, Philly.
Washington always plays good against Philly.
See, they do, and I thought they were going to pull this one out.
I did too.
In the beginning,
Howell
and then
threw for almost 400 yards.
Dude, he was lights out, lights out. That's what I was trying to say.
Up until the last drive where he threw the pick, he was playing good. But
Yeah.
he threw the pick to the coldest white safety in the league, Reed Blankenship.
Yeah.
But a good win for Philly. They always play like this against Washington, so.
And they moved to 7-1.
Yeah, they're looking good. Carolina. I won.
Your pick. Yeah.
I knew I had a feeling Carolina would get the job done and get their first win.
That surprises me. It surprises me.
It does. It does. I thought Houston would play better than that, but
yeah.
I did think it was funny how Eddie Pinero acted like they won the Super Bowl when they won their first game of the season. But good one for Carolina. Tough loss for Houston.
Yeah.
It was just a weird game. Seattle beats Cleveland.
Yeah, we're high on Seattle right now.
I like Seattle, dude. They're a good team.
Yeah.
And they added Leonard Williams this week.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good team. Denver.
Wow.
What the fuck? Denver.
My dad said this was gonna happen too. Right before the game, he's like, "Denver's winning."
Taylor Swift wasn't in attendance. Okay. Taylor Swift wasn't there, so they were screwed from the get-go. But Patrick Mahomes did not look good.
This Kansas City team confuses me.
Yeah. Because
I don't think they're as good as their record is.
No. They've been surviving games.
Yeah.
I think. And then but yeah, a tough loss to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sucks. But they'll probably bounce back. But they do play Miami, so we'll see how that game goes.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore beats Arizona. Your pick of the week, -9.5.
Just don't even get me started on that.
Tough way to end it.
An onside kick and then you kick a field goal? Are you kidding me?
Jonathan Gannon knew that was your pick of the week. He listens to the podcast. But yeah, I mean, Baltimore's defense looked all right. Arizona's put up fights against teams before, but it's the NFL. Baltimore, still a good team. My pick of the week, Cincinnati beats San Francisco 31-17. Brock Purdy threw for 365 yards. What?
Yeah, I know. What?
Is that the most passing yards he's ever thrown for in a game? San Francisco looks rough.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to them.
They're struggling recently. It's 3 games in a row.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
But Cincinnati's back.
Mm-hmm. And we play them this week.
I expected them to be back around this time, but
yeah,
I did not expect them to beat San Francisco the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chargers beat Chicago, which we all figured was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago's just not good.
Yeah. Especially without Fields.
Yeah. Monday night.
Yeah.
That game sucked.
Yeah. Dude. Poor Devontae Adams is all I'm going to say.
Still wasn't able to get out of Vegas.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Raiders I have no words. The Raiders are not very good.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is terrible.
And Detroit still only won 26-14.
Yeah, they didn't even have they scored. It was 3 field goals in the first 3 drives. Yeah. It was 9-0. They didn't even have to score.
No. Jahmyr Gibbs did go off.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs had a great game. Good for him. They're finally feeding him the ball a little bit. Yeah. And then just the Raiders suck. Speaking of the Raiders, they have almost cleaned house.
Yeah.
Last night at about midnight, I think it was, or something like that.
1 a.m., I think. Yeah, I think it was 1.
Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler got fired, the head coach and the general manager.
Yeah.
And then today, their offensive coordinator got fired.
Yep.
So,
and then they decided
Aiden
O'Connell is starting.
Yeah, and they decided to bench Jimmy G.
Yeah.
So they're just imploding.
Yeah. I
Their
mean, they
seasons,
needed to.
yeah, their seasons well far
They
over
didn't
right
have a
now.
choice.
Yeah, I think I was waiting on the Josh McDaniels fire.
Mm,
He's not a good head coach.
yeah. No, he's not.
He's not.
Did you see they asked Belichick about
Oh, they did ask
like
him.
rehiring
I
him?
didn't.
Yeah.
What did he
And
say?
he go, I'm just focused on Washington.
That's a good answer, Bill. That's a good answer. My dad said Papa Bill would take him back though. Um, yeah, Raiders suck. I think now you have to tank for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think so too.
You have to figure out a way to get that first pick, either Caleb Williams or Drake May.
Yeah,
And I
they need a quarterback badly.
honestly, if I'm Vegas, I'd rather have Caleb Williams. I think if I'm anybody, I'd rather have Caleb Williams. But
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, the Raiders fans not having a good year. But in other news, you got some injuries. Kyler Murray might be coming back.
Yeah, is he? I
They
mean, they just
traded
traded
Josh
Joshua
Dobbs.
Dobbs, so something tells me that he
I
might be ready.
when they even said Josh Dobbs wouldn't be the starter, which maybe it was just because they were trading him, but
Yeah,
also
I think that's why,
it
honestly.
has to be because they haven't announced
Yeah,
anything else yet.
yeah.
I hope Kyler comes back this week. I really want him to be back and play good.
Hmm.
And then if not, they'll have to start Clayton Tune. So so that's tough for them. And then starting quarterbacks wise this week, you'll see Taylor Heineke for a bench Desmond Ritter,
Hmm.
Aiden O'Connell, like we said, for a benched Jimmy Garoppolo,
Yep.
Will Levis because Ryan Tannehill's still hurt, which I think you start Will Levis the rest of the season.
I think so too.
Unless he plays terrible in this
He's
game, you start him for the rest of the season.
yes.
And then they announced Jaron Hall would be the starter over Josh Dobbs, the Vikings.
And then the Rams possibly
Possibly won't be starting
because
Matt
Stafford has a UCL sprain in his right
Oh,
thumb, and he's
Stafford
not
is-
practicing again today. So,
The Rams just. I might have to change my pick of the week. I just realized that.
yeah,
Yeah, the Rams are struggling. It's tough. But in the NFL trade deadline, we had some big moves. Um, First off, was it yesterday? We saw Montez Sweat go to the Bears,
Yep,
which I thought was interesting.
yeah, it is
I feel like you
interesting.
could have traded Montez Sweat to a contender. And then Chase Young
Chase Young goes to
went
the
to San
49ers.
Oh god.
Teaming up with Bosa again.
Yep, that defense is just gets scarier
Yeah,
and scarier.
yeah.
But good for them. And then Josh Dobbs gets traded to the Vikings.
Mhm.
Couple here and there.
Leonard
we said
Williams.
Williams. And then the Bills got a corner.
Let's go,
we
dude.
made a move.
Rasul
Douglas and a 5th round pick for a 2024 3rd round pick.
And he did not practice today because
he just
got here.
That was funny. I saw that. I saw that right before we started recording it. That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that pickup. I think he'll be a good veteran fit, and he fits the. He played in Carolina for a year, so he fits the build of a Bills player. Let's talk about the Bills, because Josh Allen skipped the rest of practice to heal the shoulder injury, which I'm not gonna worry about because
I'm just scared it's gonna be a lingering injury.
Yeah, and I don't know how it's gonna affect him, but towards the end of the game, you could see how
it was hurting.
Yeah, but
so hopefully that's nothing. Big.
Yeah, we'll see. Moving into this next week,
it's tough.
It's a big game this week, but Well, before we get into our picks, breaking news: basketball coaching great Bob Knight passes away at 83 years old. That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
I just went back on ESPN to go to the picks, and I saw that just happened. all-time coaching great. I mean, he was this. He's the sixth winningest basketball coach in Division One history.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
902.
Damn.
1.
83 years old.
83 years old.
Oh man. Our hearts go out to the Knight family and everybody else affected. Oh, that's brutal. Well,
yeah, it's sad.
On a less sad note, we got to get into our picks now. Thursday night, Tennessee at Pittsburgh.
Oof.
I don't know who to pick in this game. I
don't either.
Tennessee.
It's at Pittsburgh.
It is at Pittsburgh, yeah.
I think I like Pittsburgh just because of their defense.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you because I don't know if Will Levis can replicate.
Yeah.
And the Falcons' defense isn't as good as Pittsburgh's defense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll roll with Pittsburgh, too. Sunday, Germany, Frankfurt, 9:30 a.m. Miami at Kansas City. Well, not at Kansas City, but Miami.
This is a huge game for
one of the
playoffs.
One of the big matchups of the week.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be game of the week, though.
I don't think so either.
I'll take Kansas City.
See, I want to, and I don't want to take Miami, but I just feel like Miami's gonna win it.
Yeah,
and it's gonna suck.
Yeah, that would suck, but I think Kansas City can bounce back.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Miami though. No.
Uh-oh.
I'm taking Kansas City.
All right. So
I'm taking Kansas City.
Both got Kansas City, and then Minnesota at Atlanta, 1:00. Dude,
what a tough game to pick.
I would say Minnesota, but no Kirk Cousins. They got to start Jaron
Hall. Oh yeah. Josh Dobbs isn't even playing. That's right.
Yeah. Give me Atlanta. I think.
Yeah, me too.
Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
The legend of Taylor Heineke has returned.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona at Cleveland. Now, I would say if Kyler Murray starts, I would say Kyler Murray and Arizona would get the win.
Yeah,
but I got to go Cleveland. I don't know if...
I'm going Cleveland, too.
Yeah.
LA, Green Bay.
I did have this as my pick of the week, but I completely forgot that Matt Stafford might not play.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to say this isn't my pick of the week anymore because I have a backup. I think I'm going to go Green Bay at home.
Who's LA's backup? Do we know?
No. I have no idea.
Rams backup quarterback. Brett Ripien.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He got in the game the other week. Well.
So I'm going to go with Green Bay.
Yeah, I'll stick with Green Bay at home. Washington at New England.
I like New England in this.
I'm going to go Washington.
Okay.
I think they got to get a win somewhere.
Shitty matchup, but...
Yeah, could be a good game.
Yeah.
Well, now they don't have... Shit, I keep forgetting what happened in the last week. They don't have Montez Sweat or Chase Young anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So their defense is going to be hurting. Jonathan Allen, I think, just wants to get out of there, and he couldn't even get traded.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take New England. I now that I think about it, I don't think Washington's going to win. Chicago at New Orleans. I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory. Chicago's just not looked good.
Yeah, Saints.
New Orleans. All right, this is my pick of the week. Seattle plus 5.5 at Baltimore. Now, I don't know who's going to win this game, but I do think it's going to be very close.
I think Baltimore's going to win.
I'm going to go Seattle.
Okay. I mean, I love Seattle. We both love Seattle, but... Yeah.
This could be a Detroit-Baltimore situation, but I think...
That's what I'm thinking.
I'll go with Seattle because I got him plus 5.5.
Okay. I got Baltimore. Tampa Bay, Houston. This is my pick of the week.
Yeah.
I took Tampa plus 3.
I think I think
So
Tampa gets the job done this week.
I mean, they should.
They should.
They're not a bad team. They're
No, they're
still
not. They're
a
just
decent team. Yeah,
yeah, they're still not bad.
they should.
Yeah, they should get the win.
Mhm.
Indianapolis at Carolina, first 4 o'clock game.
Nope. And
I don't even know.
Horrible game. I'm gonna go with Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Indianapolis too. I don't think Carolina can get back-to-back wins.
Yeah, no.
Giants at Raiders.
So you would think the Giants win this game, right?
Yeah, no head coach, no quarterback.
Yeah.
And somehow the Raiders are still favored. I believe they're -1.5 still, but I'm gonna go with the Giants.
I'm gonna go with Giants as well.
And then game of the week: Dallas at Philadelphia, 4:25. Give me Philly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Philly too. Just because they're at home.
Yeah, I think Philly can handle Dallas, but that'll be game of the week for the week, and we'll see how that one goes. Sunday Night Football. Buffalo at Cincinnati.
I mean, we're both picking the Bills. This is like every week we're picking the Bills.
Yeah, we're gonna pick the Bills.
It doesn't matter who they play.
Oh, I'm a little worried for this one.
I'm worried as well.
This is a must-win.
Yeah.
Cannot
drop to 5-4.
No, we cannot. We gotta win this game.
This is huge.
Last time we were in Cincinnati, we know what happened.
Yeah.
But we gotta get our revenge for the playoff game.
Yep.
Gotta.
Hopefully we do.
The Bills win this one.
Yep.
Monday Night Football. Another not great Monday night game. Chargers at Jets.
Jets.
I mean, this could be my pick of the week. The under in this game.
Yeah, honestly.
Give me the Jets at home.
I'm going Chargers.
I'm a big Chargers hater.
I know you are.
I think we figured that out the last couple weeks. But yeah, I think the Jets can get the job done at home Monday night.
I'm gonna go with Chargers though.
Yeah, it'll be a good game though. After last week, I sit at 18-10. I had a great week, 13-2 in picks. Too bad I can't do that in betting, but whatever. And you are one game behind me, 17-11. So you were one game ahead last week, and now I'm one game ahead this week. Both had good weeks. Now. Both had good weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see how this week goes, and then we'll check the standings again.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the MLB, we got a 3-1, right? World Series right now. The Rangers are up 3-1.
Even with Adolis out and Scherzer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the D-backs are winning 3 games in a row.
No, I don't think so.
And I think the Rangers have this one.
Yeah.
Did you see it was like the lowest rating.
Lowest rank, yeah. You said that. You're like, this is not what the MLB wants.
Yeah, I know.
And we did predict 4-2, but I think the Rangers are just going to sweep them. Or not sweep them, win 4-1.
Yeah.
I
can see 4-2.
Yeah, even without Garcia and Scherzer, they cakewalked the other. They went up 10-0 in the third inning, and then they just coasted to a win. So they should finish this one strong, and we'll see. I mean, obviously, by the time next week rolls around, the World Series will be over. Might actually be over tonight, right?
They play tonight? I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they play at 8, so.
Yeah.
And if the Diamondbacks can get a win, they'll go back to Texas. So we'll see who finishes that one off tonight. Other than that, Sabres, they're playing right now.
Yep.
But their season's going all right.
Yeah.
I think we expected more, but that's fine.
They're fine.
It's still early.
They'll turn it around. They're 4-5. They win tonight. They're 5-5, back to 500.
Yeah, it's still early in the season. So once we get a little bit further, we'll start seeing which teams are good and which teams are not. College basketball. We got some exhibition games that have started up. We've seen some teams lose. I know. I haven't seen a whole ton of them, but I know Illinois beat Kansas in some charity thing. But I think Illinois was trying a little bit harder than Kansas. Um, Louisville lost another exhibition game, this time to
Yeah.
Kentucky Wesleyan. Wow, I don't know what to say about that one. And then I know you're happy about this, but as a Syracuse fan, this makes me mad. Cooper Flag commits to Duke. The
What? That's awesome.
five-star, the talented Cooper Flag. I'm mad. Good for him. Whatever. Good for Duke getting that commit. Him and Kyle Filipowski will be good. But college basketball starts Monday?
Next week, right?
Yeah, I believe Monday.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. It's already November.
I know.
I'm flying
November
by.
6th, we'll have a big slate of games.
Yeah.
We'll see all these early season tournaments when they pick up, so we'll talk more about that.
Bronny James debut, too.
Yeah. USC, Kansas State.
Of course, that game's on TNT.
Yeah. That'll be the best ranked game, I guess, of the week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for college basketball to get started. We'll see how the season rolls.
Yep.
But also in other basketball news, James Harden got traded to the Clippers.
Yeah.
The 76ers era is over for him.
Is that a surprise?
No. I was expecting it, but I didn't know if he was still going to get traded once the season started.
Yeah.
But good trade for the Clippers. The Clippers, they got a good team.
They look good on paper.
On
but
paper,
be
that's
good?
That's the type of team that looks good on paper. James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Paul George.
Kawhi will get hurt halfway through the season.
Yep. And then Paul George will get hurt.
Yeah.
And then Russell is going to play like Russell, and James Harden won't want to be there anymore.
Yep.
That feels like just how it's going to go. But still a good trade for them. I think 76ers, the owner, he owns both the Sixers and Washington.
Commanders.
He made some big trades.
Yeah.
So he's making moves.
Busy time for him.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the NBA is, I don't know what you think about this, but this in-season tournament they got going on.
Dude, it's so weird to me. The courts are cool, at least.
The courts aren't bad. There's a few that are questionable, but some of them are good looking. I don't know how this is going to work.
It's so weird.
Is it like, does it count towards their records?
I think it does, yeah.
It
but
just doesn't.
That's the thing that doesn't make, does it?
Because then you got to work around the rest of the season scheduling.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're just making.
And some teams would only play like a certain amount of games. Like once it gets to a certain point, every team plays the same amount of games, and then after that, it's just like basically.
Yeah, it sort of feels like you're just making it harder on yourself if you're the NBA.
Yeah.
The Sabres game is going on right now for people who don't realize we're recording during the Sabres game. We just go up 2-1.
Yeah.
Nice.
Byro or however you say his
name.
Oh,
he just scored?
Yeah.
Good for him. He just came up
he just
for
got called
Benson.
Up. Yeah.
Because Benson's week to week. But nice. So the Sabres take a 2-1 lead. We're probably going to be finished before the game is obviously over. But so that in-season tournament is going to be interesting to see. I don't hate the idea, but then again, it's the point of the season.
It'll be cool.
Yeah, it'll be cool for in-season, and just the point of it is, well, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll be fun to watch, but overall, we'll see. And other than that, you got the sports equinox was the other day. We both had our sports equinox parlays, which was nice. It was nice to get one win. That was a good day of sports. I mean, it wasn't like a ton of outstanding games, but it was still fun to watch 4 sports going on at once. So that was fun. And then, other than that, we'll talk about Adam Johnson.
Really sad.
A horrific tragedy in hockey. You could take this one of many ways. My personal opinion, I don't think that it wasn't intentional. I think he intended to cause harm, but I don't think he intended. Like, nobody intended.
Yeah.
For him to
I don't think he intended his skate to get that high.
Yeah, I think he wanted to hurt him, but not like kill him. You know.
Yeah.
And it sucks. The Bruins had a nice tribute I saw.
Penguins.
The Penguins, not the Bruins. Sorry.
Penguins. Yeah.
The Penguins had a nice tribute. There was not a dry eye in the entire stadium, and I saw, um, um, so the Yorkshire Police or the South Yorkshire Police have issued an update in their investigation. Um, they're saying it's normal procedure for this investigation, and it's going to take some time to see whether Petgrave's kick was an accident or not. The circumstances are just really unprecedented, so it's going to take a little while.
I mean, I don't think they'll
It sucks.
charge him with anything. Like,
probably not, but
at the end of the day, it's. I mean, if you saw the video,
yeah, it's a horrific video.
Yeah.
Retired NHL star Chris Theron said after seeing the incident involving Adam Johnson that Bush League needs to shut down for investigation immediately. He was appalled and sickened by what he saw. It looked intentional. It was a kung fu kick. And he said, "Tell me I'm wrong." And another thing, the Petgrave who kicked him, he's the leader in that league's penalty minutes, and he is listed to have over 300 penalty minutes in 4 years. That could add to it, but I mean, it's a freak incident. So,
yeah.
And Sean Avery says he believes it was absolutely trying to make contact. It's tough. It's a tragic way to end somebody's life, and I think he did want to hurt him, but
not kill him.
It sucks. I mean, our hearts go out to everybody in that situation, and Adam Johnson's family. That it's a tough way to end the podcast, but yeah. So, I mean, Adam Johnson, Bob Knight, Matthew Perry passed away the other day.
Yep.
And then
sad week.
It's been a sad week, yeah. So, you just keep moving forward, you know.
Yep.
Just keep moving forward. Well, on that note, thank you for listening to the 3rd episode of the Buffalo Take. We'll see you next week. I will say, as we start to pick up doing these episodes, I think I'm going to try and see if we can get more efficient at this, and maybe where we can get to a point where we could do 2 episodes a week. And then we could do shorter episodes instead of just pushing out an hour episodes a week, because there's always going to be a lot to talk about week by week. So, also, we might be on Spotify this week and Apple.
That's news to me.
Podcast. I'm trying to figure that out still.
Shout out Trevor Ojabina.
Yeah, for the comment and the Instagram. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But Clarence football. One more thing, last thing. Clarence football did win in their first playoff game. They got their second one coming up on Friday against West Seneca West, and then the winner of that will go play at Highmark, and hopefully my dad's defense can. I don't like rooting for Clarence, but it is funny because we're
Chris.
Lancaster kids. Go Chris, yeah. So hopefully they can get the job done. But sorry for the rambling at the end. Thank you for listening to the 3rd episode. We will see you guys next week. Have a good week.
See you guys.